Grey's Anatomy Season 22 Episode 10 explores deeply personal truths, beginning with the reveal that Blue is still seeing Mohunty and Jules continues pretending to be Sally. As Richard Webber prepares for surgery, Nick's sister unexpectedly comes to town. Note: this recap contains spoilers for Grey's Anatomy Season 22 Episode 10. The episode opens with Meredith immersed in her Alzheimer's research, trying to understand why the female mice are not responding well to the drug. Her work is abruptly interrupted by the arrival of Nick's sister Erica, who shocks everyone by showing up with a son. Meanwhile, Webber prepares for surgery after agreeing to the procedure in Episode 9. Catherine, understandably anxious, ensures her husband receives the best possible care. While most of the staff remain unfazed by her presence, one new employee is clearly intimidated. While waiting, Webber meets Curtis, a man battling prostate cancer that has metastasized to his spine. This interaction lingers with Webber, especially as he undergoes treatment himself in hopes of spending as much time as possible with his children. Nick is stunned to learn that Erica is pregnant with her second child. She seems dismissive of his shock and even appears to forget she has another daughter, Charlotte, something Nick quickly reminds her of. His frustration grows, raising the question of whether Erica is truly sober. As Webber is placed under general anesthesia, the episode enters his subconscious. Curtis is initially present, but as he fades, Webber envisions someone else, his father. Jules and Adams focus on treating a tennis instructor and Uber driver who arrives with tingling in his arm, fearing he's having a heart attack after reading about the symptoms. As Webber wrestles with his own fears and inner demons, the medical cases around him continue to unfold. Elsewhere, Catherine is furious after learning Webber updated his burial instructions, requesting to be laid to rest next to Adele. She believes Adele belongs firmly in his past and feels hurt by the decision. True to form, Catherine decides to purchase the burial plot next to Webber's herself. The tennis coach receives discouraging news when he's told his shoulder surgery requires insurance pre-authorization, a process that could take months. He struggles to cope with the pain while waiting. Back at Meredith's, Nick finally questions Erica about her sobriety. Meredith attempts to ease the growing tension between the siblings, a role reversal that's almost humorous given Derek once played peacemaker for Meredith and her sisters. Nick worries because he's been through this before and fears history will repeat itself. As Catherine and Bailey discuss burial arrangements, Jules and Adam search for ways to help their patient. Bailey urges Catherine to delay the conversation with Webber, but Catherine refuses to wait, determined to secure what she wants. Under anesthesia, Webber continues his emotional journey. His father speaks of dreams unfulfilled, exposing years of unresolved anger and regret. It becomes clear this confrontation exists only in Webber's mind, his chance to say everything left unsaid. Jules attempts to help the patient, but things spiral when Simone brings him back to the hospital, emphasizing how clearly the doctors warned him. Nick and Meredith talk until the sound of a car starting signals Erica's apparent departure, seemingly repeating old patterns by leaving Nick to care for her child. Still, the question remains, is that really what's happening? Adams and Jules agree that honesty with Simone is the best approach, believing Sally would do the same. There's no time to argue about exaggerating pain levels, even if Jules is uncomfortable with it. When Winston returns, he immediately recognizes the patient. Nick insists on buying more diapers and formula, convinced there isn't enough. Meredith explains she's only going to an AA meeting, but Nick refuses to believe Erica hasn't gone to a bar. As hospital monitors echo, Webber and his father discuss Maggie and her unborn son. On the operating table, Webber begins to struggle and ultimately flatlines, all while contemplating whether Maggie's child might inherit the disease. Blue urges Winston not to question the patient's pain despite lacking a clear explanation. He also tells Simone he won't involve himself further, unwilling to risk more trouble after earlier issues this season. The source of Webber's dream becomes clearer as Meredith and Nick face their first major argument since officially dating. Nick recalls when Erica left Charlotte with him just as he was preparing to propose, a relationship that ended because he wasn't ready to raise a child. Though Meredith is different, he fears the past could repeat itself. Erica's return, however, suggests this story may not end the same way. During surgery, Winston realizes the patient's symptoms don't align with expectations and quickly understands Jules has taken matters into her own hands. Though he wants to help, he insists on speaking with Jules directly. Catherine ultimately doesn't get the burial plot beside Webber, not because of death but because of fear. Having found love later in life, she worries they won't have enough time together. Bailey suggests there may be other ways to find peace. Catherine settles on cremation, choosing to be laid to rest on Weber's grave so they can still be together. The episode delves deeply into Weber's strained relationship with his father. He blames himself for missing the signs of prostate cancer, believing his medical knowledge should have led to earlier intervention. This guilt has weighed on him for years. As the episode closes, Erica reveals she called her sponsor and fell asleep in her car from exhaustion. She admits she once ended up in a bar parking lot while driving to soothe her son, choosing to stay in the car because she knew going inside would mean relapse. Nick, realizing his mistake, finally listens. Back at the hospital, Winston confronts Jules, noting how suspicious it was that the patient arrived with classic rupture symptoms. Though Jules won't confess, Winston knows she lied. Weber comes to terms with his emotions, acknowledging he'll carry the guilt of losing his father for the rest of his life. In his dream, he runs toward him as the machines beep, but his father is already gone. Weber awakens in recovery with Bailey by his side, just as it seems the monitors might signal the worst. His first request is to check on Curtis, assuring him he's available for any conversation he needs. Bailey agrees but insists on getting Catherine first. Guilt lingers for others as well. Winston knows Jules lied, and Jules must live with that decision, though Winston doesn't appear eager to punish her. With Meredith, Nick reflects on her promise that they're in this together. If it came down to it, Meredith would have raised Miles alongside him. Her devotion is unwavering. The question remains, will Nick finally propose? The episode ends with the long-awaited relief. Weber is cancer-free. The surgery was successful. And yes, probably allergies,